Welcome to today's New York Women in Business webinar on imposter syndrome or fear of success, strategies for unlocking your true potential. I'm Kendra Anderson, and I will be running things behind the scenes for you here. For those of you who are not familiar with SCORE, we are a nationwide organization, and we're a nonprofit resource partner of the Small Business Administration. Nationally, we have over 10,000 mentors, and here in our New York City chapter, we have over 80 highly experienced mentors. We advise over 6,000 small business clients each year. Our mentoring is free, and you can meet with your mentor on an ongoing basis so they can develop a deep understanding of your business and provide you with the most meaningful guidance over time. I put into chat the link to get a free SCORE New York City mentor. Your audio is on mute right now, and we do recommend you open your window to a full screen for an optimal experience. We welcome your questions, so put those into the chat. As I said, we will do a fireside chat, a very short breakout, then we're going to open it to an open forum discussion, then we're going to go into the networking at the end. So with that, and the presentation is being recorded, you will get the recording link and a bonus key takeaways handout. And those will go out to you via email within the next day. With that, I'm going to turn things over to Mary Tan, who is one of our SCORE business mentors, and she invented New York Women in Business. Take it away, Mary.
You make it sound like it was a figment of my imagination.
It has to start with that, doesn't it?
Anyway, as Kendra says, I am a SCORE mentor, and I've been mentoring for over 12 years at this point. And I've talked to a lot of people. And that's the reason why I think the topic today is so exciting to me. It's a topic that a lot of people may or may not have heard of, but the reality is it's something that affects most of us. In fact, before this start of this webinar, the speakers and we were just chatting, and we all started talking about how the imposter syndrome is, on the plus side, is something particular to high achieving people. Because a quick way of describing what it is, thank you, Josephine, I just saw that pop up. But one of the things is that because you're all high achieving, the way it manifests itself is the feeling that whatever you do is never enough. And you're just one small step away from being exposed as being inadequate. And it's not a male thing. It's not a female thing. It's not something that only women feel. Far from it. And more importantly, what we don't think about is that this syndrome holds you back. And it affects yourself not only personally, but professionally. So this is a topic that's well worth diving into. And NIWIP is fortunate to be able to pull three amazing, amazing women. They all know a lot about this field in different ways, and they will begin today to help you start understanding what exactly imposter syndrome is, understand how it's manifesting in you, and what you might be able to do to start changing the way you think about yourself. Next slide, please. I'm also the founder of New York Women in Business. And for the women in the room, and by the way, this topic must have been very, very appealing because we had almost 600 registrations. What was interesting is about 80 of you registered twice, which shows you how excited you're about and you wanted to make sure you'd be taking advantage of it. But New York Women in Business was founded within SCORE to support women entrepreneurs. Our mission is to help build businesses one woman at a time. And it's the only alliance of professional women's organizations in New York City. Next slide, please. We do it by educating, promoting, inspiring, and connecting. Next slide, please. By educating, we do webinars, not just like this one, But the next one we're doing is going to be called the Power Hour. It's a series of 4 lunchtime webinars. They'll begin to give you the essentials of what it takes to grow your business. It covers things like how do you write a business plan that allows you to scale? What about sales and marketing? How do you advocacy and also financial management? So it's very rich and they're bite-sized learning. Next. We have a library of resources you should check out because it has valuable links to resources that you may not know exist. And more importantly, next, we have a YouTube channel where we take clips from webinars we've done and we put them up for you to look at. And so we'll be distilling the essence of what these webinars are. We also promote you. First of all, we've got a business directory now that we encourage you to sign up. And when you do, we send you we not just send you a welcome note, we post it in social media. So that helps give you visibility, because promoting this community is all about giving you visibility. And when you're in the directory, you get to promote yourself for free on our homepage. And we will also post about you, members of the community, on social media. So you get visibility from a lot of different ways. But I have to tell you, you have to be a woman-owned business that has been in business for a year, and you have to be in the New York tri-state area. We have found people sign up from Texas, from India, and that doesn't fit the criteria. So we're quite assiduous about going through the list. And if you don't fit the criteria, your listing will be deleted. Next, please. We inspire through a pitch tank like we did last year, where we gave away $100,000 in prizes, with the top prizes to be $20,000. Next, please. And we help you connect. I mentioned that we were an alliance, and the beauty of that is you get to tap the resources of all these organizations that are part of it. There are two which are city organizations. One is a CDFI. There's also, 2 that are that are about career transitions. So you find a lot of richness. And when you come to our events, you meet people from all these different groups. You get a diversity of experiences and expertise that you be hard pressed to find anywhere else. Next. And we believe in networking, because NIWIB is about connections. We help by giving live events and virtual networking sessions. We do twice a year. We have events in December and in August. And virtual, we do monthly networking sessions that Rebecca, who many of you know, moderates, and they're excellent. And they're not just about connecting. She also spends time during these sessions to tell you what can make networking more effective. And she's got chapters. So go to our website and take a look on what her topic is for the month. So here's the agenda. As Ken already said, fireside chat with 3 unbelievably wonderful speakers. And then there'll be a brief Q&A. And then there'll be small group breakouts. And the fireside chat will be recorded, but nothing after that will be recorded, because we want you to know they can speak freely and nothing will be recorded. Because the rest of this, and that's what makes this particular webinar different from any others that we've done before. This can be very much about your being able to hear what other people think, for you to begin expressing what you think and what your life experience is, because we all learn from each other. And then finally at 4:30, Rebecca will do a networking session. They'll be based about connecting you to each other. So please try and stay all the way to the end, because that's where the greatest value will be coming from. Next, okay. So the fireside chat is the imposter syndrome, and also its sister syndrome. For those who don't already know, Rebecca is actually phoning in from Scotland. She is so good that we won't let her go. And she's been kind enough to stay with us and help us make these networking events, and our webinars the success that they are. So Rebecca, if you want to take over from here on in and introduce the rest of the panel.
Okay, thank you, Mary, for that. And just to let you all into a secret, feeling massive imposter syndrome just now when I hear Mary describing, I recognize the two amazing women on the panel who I will introduce in just a second, but I'm looking around for the third one. And then I realize Mary's talking about me. So massive imposter syndrome going on there as well. Okay, so first off, before we get into the conversation, let me just introduce the two amazing women I am delighted and privileged to share this conversation with. So starting off with Dr. Roshanak Hashamayun. I think that's how you say your second name. I've probably massacred it. I apologize. So Dr. Rosh,
You did it
all right.
perfectly.
Thank you. I've been practicing. Dr. Roshanak is a neuroscientist, a transformational consultant, and the founder of an organization called Access to the Path, which uses neuroscience to help us unlock our potential and that of our businesses as well. So Roshanak is going to enliven this conversation with some insights around from the neuroscience perspective and also lived experience, as is Karen Kunkel-Young, who is an executive leadership and career coach and founder of Karen Kunkel-Young Coaching. And Karen's mission is to help creative leaders to take charge of their careers and I suppose take their own destiny into their own hands and manifest it, make it happen. So again, really looking forward and privileged to be sharing a platform, a conversation with these two amazing women. So I'm actually going to invite them just to say a little bit more about themselves as well, because I've kind of given a really brief potted history, but I think for both of you, the question is, how did you end up doing what you do now? Very briefly, no more than a couple of minutes. So Dr. Roshanak, do you want to start?
Sure, thank you very much. How did I end up doing what I'm doing now? Well, actually, I always thought since I was a child that this is what I should be doing, but I didn't start doing it right away. Isn't that funny? And during the course of my education, I had experienced imposter syndrome and experienced the effects of it in my classmates. I ended up, of course, getting my PhD, and I have a bachelor's in behavioral neuroscience. I'm a PhD computational neuroscientist, and I work in clinical neuroscience as well. And so I spent all this time helping people, transforming lives on this grand, medical scientific level, but never ended up doing what I really wanted to do because probably of something like imposter syndrome and what's connected to it, which is fear of failure and fear of success. And all those things that would hold me back from taking the risk and the leap to go forward to live my purpose. But also all that I went through helped build me up and prepare me to be able to do what I'm doing today. And so it's this beautiful sort of full circle moment as we talk about imposter syndrome and all the other things that cause resistance for us to be truly successful, fulfilled, and optimally achieve all that we can. It's those beliefs and perceptions that we have, the stories and the hidden scripts that are running the show that we're not aware of, that keep us from that joy, that is a benefit to us and a benefit to everybody else, because people need what we have to offer. So how did I get here? By the grace of God.
Oh, thank you, Roshanak. That's lovely to hear. Karen, same question to you. How did you end up doing what you do now?
Yeah, thanks, Rebecca. I come from a television career. I've been an unscripted showrunner for over 2 decades, and I spent the last 6 years of my career as the VP of programming for ITV America, which is one of the largest US production companies. And Rebecca, I'm sure you know about ITV, being in the UK as well, the mothership, if you will. And honestly, I thought I'd be producing TV until I was 90. I love producing content. I love telling people's stories, and I really love leading teams. And about a few years ago, what I realized is that I no longer was taking charge of my career. I had really, I was so busy doing, and I was on this hamster wheel that I was like, oh my goodness, what do I want? So I started getting a lot of signs about how I made an impact as a leader, and how I was, as much as I enjoyed creating content, what my superpower was helping people achieve their goals, helping people see opportunities that they could not see, helping people tap into their true potential. So the signs that were coming to me, I couldn't ignore anymore. So I went back and I got my certification in coaching, and I help, creative leaders, I help entrepreneurs, small business owners such as yourself, really reclaim what brings you joy and getting to the bottom. Today we're talking about imposter syndrome, delving deeper into what might be holding you back, whether it's fears, whether they're limiting beliefs, whether it's imposter syndrome, and cutting through all of that to help you live the most joyful, fulfilling career that you can. So I didn't intend to be a coach. I didn't intend to start my own business. I didn't intend any of this, and it's all come to me. And I've honestly never been more joyful. So I'm so grateful to speak with everyone today. I'm grateful to be on this wonderful panel with Rebecca and Roshanak, and looking forward to getting into it.
All right. Thank you, Karen Roshanak. Thank you for just giving us that kind of context for how you have come to this agenda and this discussion. And I guess just to start us off, rather than digging into what we do about it, let's just kind of backpedal a bit and start off with, well, why should we care? Why should we care about imposter syndrome? What's the point of spending time talking about it? So who would like to kick that conversation off?
Well, I started the first one, so I'll let Karen start.
Okay, Karen.
Thank you, Roshanak.
Karen, go for it.
So as Mary said earlier, imposter syndrome, it affects all sorts of people, but it does also really tap into high achievers a lot. So why should we care? Imposter syndrome is something that it holds us back. It holds us back from reaching our own potential and our highest potential and our purpose. And in doing so, and Rebecca, I suspect we might get into this a little later, but you're actually doing a disservice to the people who you are trying to serve as a business owner, whether it's product or service. So it's an interrupter of getting to your true potential. And Roshanak, and you are very well versed into more of the nitty gritty meat bones of what it is. So I'll turn it over to you.
That's very kind and generous of you, Karen. Thank you. I think you laid it out quite well. The truth is, why we should care is that everybody is affected by imposter syndrome. That's the short answer. So if you're suffering from imposter syndrome, you know why you care, because it's hurting you. You're suffering. It's causing you distress, anxiety, potentially depression, certainly maladaptive behaviors. So it's no good for you. And when you're not like when you're not, I don't want to say at your best, but when you're not aligned with your own authentic self, when you're not comfortable in your own skin, when you're living in fear, self-doubt, and anxiety, how are you interacting with the people around you? On a personal level, on a professional level, it's going to be at worst devastating, but at least, as Karen said, interruptive of the beauty, the joy that you can have individually and together, what you can bring into the world, because each of us has our own unique sets of skills, blessings, the resonance of our message, the way we interpret whatever the topic may be, and bring forth into the world. The world needs that as much as every single person has a unique fingerprint, never to be seen before or after you. So too do we have a unique resonance, a unique voice. So it doesn't matter if you think someone else knows it better or does it better, or that you may not be competent enough, or whatever it is that's holding you back. The point is, it's holding you back. It's holding you back. It's protecting you from real joy. It's protecting you from optimizing that message and your purpose. And you should care if you're not suffering from it, because as a business owner, then the people who have it that work for you, they're going to affect your bottom line and the culture of your organization. And if you're not a business owner and you don't have imposter syndrome, why should you still care? Because you're a customer. And customer relations are affected by the way that the person on the other end feels. We know that. We've all walked into a room, for example, and said, ooh, something bad went down here. Or this is a great vibe. I want to stay. We can feel it. We can feel it in each other's voices. We can see it in each other's faces. We feel that energy, the fullness or the lack thereof. So everybody should care about this topic.
And I thank you for that, both of you. And I suppose just to kind of add to that as well, you know, because I deal a lot with how we get beyond imposter syndrome, how we kind of deal with it from a business sense. And just picking up on one of the things that Karen was saying around we do a disservice to the people we are serving if we allow imposter syndrome, or if imposter syndrome gets in the way, does that interrupting thing. As a customer, I should care because there is some great spark of genius which is being held back, which may be the thing that creates the next best product or the solution to all of our problems. So actually there is that part of it as well, of the, I know from personal experience, it makes us more risk averse. So, and when we're risk averse, we don't innovate. So I guess from a societal perspective, if you take it to that next big level, from a societal perspective, we should also care about imposter syndrome and being more, I suppose, having conversations like these, having conversations about what can we do about it then. So I think we've set the scene. I think we've said why we should care. So let's dive into then. Again, let's just do that check on what is imposter syndrome, and is it something different from just doubting ourselves? So I'm fascinated to hear both of your kind of perspectives on that. And Roshanak, I think we're going to go to you first from a neuroscience perspective, and then I'm going to flip across to Karen from the kind of the leadership, the career coaching side of things.
So imposter syndrome was first introduced by Dr. Pauline Clance in the late 70s and finally fully in 1985. So that means it's relatively new. And it wasn't called imposter syndrome, it was called imposter phenomenon, because it is a phenomenon. It's not a biological disorder or disease that inherently causes self-destruction or anything else like of that sort. What it is this, and was originally, because this is the New York Women in Business, although we have gentlemen here as well, it was originally thought to be affecting women because it was studied in a clinical setting, and it was the female in the therapy sessions that were talking about this feeling of intellectual fraudulence. They were feeling that they couldn't live up to what they thought they were supposed to be. So ultimately, it's about feeling that your achievements are undeserved and that you are likely going to be exposed as a fraud. And so if you're talking about imposter phenomenon, which is what it really is, you have to understand, number one, there's no cure because there's no biological basis for it. Number two, that it puts you in a state of anxiety, self-doubt, and can, go into further states like depression. Finally, what's really important is to think about, where did this come from? And some of the causes are perfectionism, and what people don't think about, which is their family environment, whether or not, for example, you came from a family that had a lot of support or not enough support, or if you were the superior one, or if there was an expectation of high achievement. And so that's how you gained attention or love. All of these are very important when we are considering the causes and therefore how we might address imposter phenomenon. Imposter phenomenon, therefore, is about your perception internally of how you see yourself as compared to what externally might be viewed as your Sorry, I'm absolutely distracted because I'm talking and I see Karen on the screen. I'm like, is that me talking? Karen's talking. It's this mismatch between how you are internally processing your own competence, your own abilities, and how you perceive others to be perceiving you. It's not how they're actually perceiving you. It's your perception of their perception. So it's your perception of self and what your expectations are of self, and whether or not there's a gap between those two, and how that matches or not with your perception of others' perceptions and expectations of what you're supposed to be able to be or do or perform or produce, and where you might find a mismatch through cognitive distortion.
So is some of it then about the conditioning that we've grown up with? Is that some of where it's coming from?
So one could say conditioning, but I would say more it's a story. It's the story of what makes you worthy. It's the story of what gave you attention and you confounded that with love and worthiness. It's the story of what it means to be X, Y, or Z. So if you grew up in a family and this is these are the variables, these are the parameters of the word good, successful, effective, lovable, so on and so forth. And so each of us has a belief. We have a self-constructed identity. And that self-constructed identity is connected to some beliefs. I'll help you figure that out right now. I say the word engineer. What are the words you associate with engineer? I say the word artist. What are the words you associate with artist? So these internalized stories and scripts are what affect our sense of self and whether or not we live up to what makes us worthy in another's eyes, in society's eyes, in our family's eyes.
Oh, I am looking forward to our next question, which is what could we do about this? Because I think there's some really interesting kind of avenues to follow through there. Karen, I'm interested if from your experience of working with people, does it always show up the same? Does it look different in some people from others? What's your experience around this imposter phenomenon I'm now trying to tell myself to say?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, how I work with clients and working, like, as you say, just with people, it shows up differently for everyone because we are all unique people. And going back to what Roshanak said, it's about those stories that you tell yourself. The perception are stories. So people are very, very creative with their storytelling, and of what they think other people, how they see them. So whenever people are creating stories, I'm always asking them, how is that story serving you? And if it's serving them in a great way and they feel good about it, fantastic. When it gets in the way of them being able to take risks, them being able to innovate, them being able to do something creative, but them being able to make the next move, it can be paralyzing. It could be paralyzing for them as a person, paralyzing them as a business, paralyzing, you mentioned society. It has greater and greater impact. So, to your question, Rebecca, it does show up very differently. And not only how you're telling yourself the stories now, but because of that upbringing that Roshanak also talked about, the question of being worthy enough, another question I asked, what is enough? There, by society's standards, we're always comparing ourselves to this one, that one, or someone in a quote higher position. They do it a certain way. If only I could do that, or I will be successful if only. And what I would invite and I know we're not on the strategy yet, but I can't stop myself, is that invite people into like, what would it take to feel enough right now as you are, and try to cut out the stories. And I'm not trying to oversimplify it at all, but they're all questions to ask.
Okay, all right. I think we are leading ourselves quite nicely into this conversation about, okay, so we've talked a little bit about, why it's important for us to have this conversation. And we've started digging into where is it coming from. And whilst Dr. Roshanak is saying we can't cure this, and I absolutely believe that as well, we can also, however, because of where it comes from, there are things we can do to manage it. And so that's our next bit of the conversation, is what do we do about it? What are some of the things that might make a difference for ourselves, for people who are listening on the call today? What are your thoughts and your I suppose your provocations for people?
I'll bite. Provocation. I would challenge the person who feels as an imposter. So what people always say is, well, if you feel that you're an imposter, why don't you objectively take all that you've already done or all that you're producing and use that to justify that you are competent? And you know what? I don't think that's ideal. How's that for provocative? So this is what everybody's going to tell you. And here's the problem with that. First of all, when we talk about imposter phenomenon, there is a cycle, and it starts off with a task. And then you go to do that task and you do one of two things because you've got this, disquieting self-doubt and anxiety, etc., worry. And so you'll either work really hard, so you over-prepare, or you'll procrastinate. In either case, you will accomplish. You'll do well. You'll have that accomplishment, and you'll get great feedback. And that'll feel good for a minute. Then you'll justify why you got that good feedback. Either because you over-prepared, it was because you worked so hard in the effort, this is not sustainable, or you just got lucky if you procrastinated. You see, what you're going to do is you're going to discount the praise, that positive feedback. So going around saying, oh, look at all these things I did right, that doesn't really work. That doesn't work because you have a denial of competence. So even if you give yourself lots of reasons, we don't work on our mind alone. And this is from a neuroscientist. When making decisions, yes, we require the executive function of our brain. This is my logical brain. I'm rational. I'm going to use this. But while people say, I don't want to make emotional decisions, absent your emotional apparatus in the brain, should it be damaged, it's been shown that you fail to make decisions. Oh, you can cut 7 times. You can cut 700 times. I'm sorry, you can measure 7 times. You can measure 700 times, but you're not going to cut. You need the emotion to push you forward to make the decision. The important thing is not to be emotionally dysregulated. And so part and parcel of what's happening is a dysregulation, and you're not going to be able to think yourself out of that. So going back and understanding the truth of how you are thinking what you're thinking is going to be very important. Understanding that you are truly worthy and lovable. Understanding why in this case, because there are different ways we might get to imposter syndrome. One might be you're an entrepreneur and you're taking chances. So now you're out there sort of hanging out on your own, doing something that would be considered risk tolerant, because you are, as an entrepreneur, more than other people are. So what's that risk? Oh my gosh, did I do this wrong? What's happening? How stupid was this idea that I had, and these, measures that I took? And then you can go back and say, actually, I am, and here's the part that you bring your emotions together with your thoughts, I am trailblazing. And trailblazers have this personality, and I fit that personality. Look at that. And now there's a sense of belonging. You see? Now you're not out on your own. So you're mitigating, if not obliterating the cause of what's bringing you there. So you can look back at your successes and say, I've done it before, I can do it again. And this is the confidence competence cycle. Excellent. One of the other things is that the brain detects control. So when you take action, you will quiet your anxiety, which is activated through two different parts of the brain. So you go from the dorsal raphe nucleus into the nucleus accumbens, and you quiet down the anxiety that was activated by this other part of the brain. Also, you'll start to feel comfortable enough to do more things that are in alignment as you start to feel that control. And as you are in alignment, you start to feel differently about yourself. Notice that feeling. And in the next case that you might start to feel imposter syndrome, go back to that feeling and remember what that was. You're putting yourself back together again. You can also connect with people who you trust and talk to them and ask them to truly evaluate you. Have that conversation. Bring yourself back into alignment with who you really are, all that you have to offer, and what it is that is your genius that is pounding to come out of you, because we are passionate people if we allow ourselves. So go and connect to that passion, which is the reason why you're doing what you're doing in the first place. And that passion, that joy will override, hopefully, or at least mitigate the fears, because imposter phenomenon is really a fear phenomenon. So you want to address the fear in multiple ways, but do not leave out, and that's why I emphasize this, do not, because the classic ways, you could Google it, you could chat GPT it, anybody can tell you all that, but they won't tell you this. And so what you want to do is go to that place that is your beautiful emotional space of rejoicing who you are, why you are, and that you need to be.
Thank you. Karen, I'd like to invite you into this conversation now, just to kind of, I suppose, to maybe take a different perspective from Dr. Rushanak, or to amplify some of the things that she's been saying there. Just really interested in what, in your experience, are some of the things that you have seen work for people in moving within this phenomenon.
Yeah, thank you, Rebecca. Well, we talked a bit earlier about the stories that you're telling yourself. So to take a real critical eye and challenge that story that you're telling yourself and see how is that serving you, because imposter syndrome is really, really tricky and good at making you feel like playing small. Is playing small really where you want to be as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner, as a human being? You want to play big and live to your potential. So take a critical eye where that story, and ear as well, where is that story coming from and how is that serving you? The second one I would like to share, Rebecca, is try to take the spotlight off yourself. When you are experiencing imposter syndrome, there's a lot. It's as if you were on stage and there is a light on you that's like, I'm not good enough, I'm a fraud, people are going to find me out. What would it feel like to take that spotlight off yourself visually and put that spotlight on the people who you're trying to serve, whether that is your team, whether that are your clients, whether that is an organization that you are part of, and by shifting your mindset into service, it's like, oh, it's actually what I'm doing. It's really not about me. It's about them. I founded this small business because I want to, sell this amazing new product to consumers. I want to provide this amazing new service. And when you take that spotlight off you, first of all, it's not so bright. It's not blinding you and all consuming. It's more of a soft light, and you're reflecting it back onto the people you're serving. And sometimes the imposter syndrome diminishes because you're not focused on. You're not focused on it. You're focused on service. And then the last thing I'd like to share is give yourself permission to fail. You know, going back to imposter syndrome affecting a lot of high achievers, people who are perfectionists, people who are concerned about what they're doing isn't good enough. Think about, what is the worst that could happen? Okay, you fail, you lose all your money, you lose your house. You know, I'm being a little dramatic here, but usually it's not that bad. Usually, if you people get nervous when they're giving a speech. Okay, so what's the worst that could happen? You trip on stage. Okay, you get back up and you give the speech. Someone laughs. Okay, well, there's a lot of other people that might connect with. Think about what that worst that could happen. So even if you fail, as my fitness coach says, failure is the first attempt at learning. So instead of like failure paralyzing you and oh my goodness, like because I wasn't perfect, because I wasn't as good as this person, because of that, like that can go away. And it's like, okay, like you're actually not succeeding unless you fail a lot. So go out there, take those risks. That's a part of being an entrepreneur, especially a room of tough New Yorkers here. You know, it's like, it's okay to fail. Give yourself permission. Share your failures. Share it with the community. Because what you've learned, guess what? That's also going to affect the next person. And like, oh man, I didn't know that. Or you know what? That happened to me. And it creates a conversation. Once again, taking that spotlight off you and sharing it.
Okay, thank you both for that. And I'm just keeping an eye on the time, and I know Kendra is probably going to move us into Q&A fairly soon, but I do just kind of want to slip in another quick question. But what I was hearing from you, just to kind of summarize that, there is something about maybe we can distract ourselves from our imposter voice by thinking, putting the frame, putting the spotlight. I love the way you said that, Karen, putting the spotlight somewhere else. Or we can remember ourselves. I love that idea of just really grounding ourselves in that space where we feel it, and then doing the things that help us remember that. And I think you both talked about changing the script, changing the kind of, I suppose, effectively the frame of reference that we have around it. So there's a few things there that we may want to explore as we move into the discussion section. But I have one final question for you before we do that. The title for this is The Imposter Syndrome and the Fear of Success. Are they the same thing, or is that something different?
They're
Karen.
not the same thing. Oh, sorry.
Okay, let's go to Karen first, and then I'll come to you, Dr. Rowe.
Oh, I mean, Ro, go ahead. That's fine. You can go first. I insist.
Excuse me. No, please.
Is it the same? No, I personally don't think it's the same. Imposter syndrome comes from a lot of different contributing factors with regard to, you know, as we've talked about, your family, these previous experiences, what career you might be in, this feeling of not good enough. A fear of success is part of that, but it's not as all encompassing. And that's just my take. I'm definitely curious to what you two think. I do think a fear of success, though, is very, very real when it comes to being an entrepreneur. And it's like, you want it, you want it, you want it, you want all this seed, and then it's like, and then it's here, and it's like, oh no, and like I don't know what to do with this. I don't know how to take the next step. So that it can be paralyzing. So I find that there are some parallels, but I do find them to be two distinct things.
Dr. Roshanak, your thoughts?
So imposter syndrome and fear of success are different. Imposter syndrome is the fear of being found out as a fraud. So in your mind, you are not competent enough, your abilities are not enough, your skills are not enough, etc. You are not enough. And it's more closely related to fear of failure. Fear of success is the opposite, actually. Fear of success is you don't like the way your life is going to change when you achieve your success, because you know you will be successful. So fear of success, as its name says, is the fear of success and what it will bring and the changes it will bring to your life. So where imposter syndrome is stemming from how I feel about rejection, because I will be rejected when people find out that I'm a fraud, that will overlap with fear of success. Because in fear of success, the consequences of achieving your goals, and you know that you will, are going to connect to that sort of rejection. You may find that your family doesn't feel the same. Your friends don't feel the same. Your colleagues and coworkers don't feel the same, don't view you the same, don't treat you the same. You may be afraid of being able to manage all the trappings of success. Personally, I did not have a fear of success, but when I became a doctor, one of my close friends, who was a world famous DJ from a even more famous family, turned around and says, well, I guess we can't be friends anymore. I was like, what? And he said, well, yeah, I mean, you're a doctor now, you know, you're too, like, I was too good for him. And I thought, I never heard of such a thing. But imagine if I had, and then I would have been worried. And that's exactly what happens. I mean, this is a real life thing. This happened to me. And I couldn't believe it. And there are plenty of people who think, oh, well, you're a doctor, you're better than I am, or you're something else than I am. In other words, they're here and I'm here. And so the connection is broken. And we as humans, we crave connection. We need connection. We thrive on connection. So fear of success is a fear of how you might break those connections in different ways, as well as how you might handle what happens, let's say, when you've got all this fame and money and glory, etc. Right? So it's always about the consequences of achieving your goals rather than will I be able to prove that I'm worthy of the goals that I have achieved.
Okay, thank you for that.
Great, thank you very much, Roshanak. So this point, we are actually going to transition into very, very brief breakouts. So Rebecca, would you please say a few, do you want to say a few words, or would you like me to, about what we're going to have them do in the breakouts?
Okay, so this was an opportunity. We've talked quite wide-ranging discussion there and some quite deep thoughts as well. And this is the start of our conversation. So what we felt would be a good transition is to give you space to talk with each other about what you've heard, and really to talk about what is the most what things have resonated most, what's the most important things that you have heard in this conversation so far, and what else do you want to hear? What else do you want to explore? So I think we're going to do this for, what did we reckon, Kendra? About 10 minutes, was it?
Minutes. How many people do you want in each breakout room, Rebecca?
I think we should go for no more than 6 in each breakout room. Just gives people a chance to also say hello to each other, but all have that conversation without feeling that there's too many voices going on. So I think it's important we have that quality rather than breadth of discussion.
Okay, great. So again, in the breakouts, you want to be thinking about or talking about what's the most important thing you've heard so far today and what needs to be explored further. And that what needs to be explored further is going to, guide our next section, which will be the open forum discussion. So as you go around and you think about this, please make a note so you can share it in the chat following when we close the breakout. So again, the breakouts, we are going to do 10 minutes, and you will be automatically prompted to move into the breakout group. And so with that, I'm going to break you into the breakout rooms now. See you in 10 minutes, everyone. Just 1 second. 10 minutes on the clock. Okay, here we go.